getting into the files, and France has really opened up some stuff. Supposedly they reopened Jean-Luc Brunel's cases again to make sure they didn't miss anything there. So yeah, maybe Europe will save us and find the good stuff.
Well, that's what a lot of readers kept saying that do politics all the time, that the information is going to come from outside the United States.
France requested the I can't remember what it's called, but they requested the unredacted files, the 302s, to see if there's anyone in France that needs to be prosecuted.
They also raided X's offices this week.
Whose office?
X. Twitter.
Oh, yeah. They're going to try to take down Elon too.
Yep. Why not? As long as you're there.
Yeah. Just get rid of all the Nazis.
And they're rearranging a lot of the royal schedules because the people are throwing pamphlets about what Andrew did, things that they actually know he did, out on his parade routes when they go by. Instead of sending confetti, they're throwing the pamphlets saying, read this.
Did you hear about that nonsense, how much J.D. Vance spent to go to the Olympics?
No.
8 planes.
He's not that valuable.
He took 1 plane of food, like 20-some SUVs in another plane. To basically shut down streets to move, and almost one U.S. Olympian almost didn't make it on time because of him. Ton of Secret Service, but it was 8 different planes for him to go over there.
Are they sure there weren't a bunch of our unwanted aliens stuffed in the back somewhere?
He thinks he's dang royalty, and he ain't. Where's Doge on that one?
Doge doesn't exist anymore. Don't you remember? Doge went away. Okay, everybody, we're here. Yeah, it's a fun week. We had a lot of questions. We had 5 questions that were posted to my site, so we're going to start with those. And the majority of them had to do with this. Do us women need to get our passports in order to ensure our ability to vote because of SAVE Act passing the House? And no.
It's got to get to 60 in the Senate. Unless there's a carve out for the filibuster. Which may be tough because it doesn't involve finances. I don't think it's going to pass the Senate, but let's see what the cards say.
Okay. We're going to let the bunny cards answer this one.
The SAVE Act. Will it pass the Senate? Will the SAVE Act pass the Senate? What the Republicans don't understand with this, it's going to affect Republicans probably more. They're like, well, I ain't going to vote if I have to go through all that work.
Well, it puts a monetary punishment on you to have to vote if they're going to require you to have passports.
Right. I get the sense it violates the Voting Rights Act.
Yep. What's left of it.
Yeah. Because I get the strength card. A lot of time that strength card makes me feel like the rule of law, laws, Constitution kind of thing. Charting a new path, but then we got dangers ahead. Evaluate, patience. That's not things happening. I got the sun coming in with the rule of law kind of feeling. Wiser heads prevail. The Queen of Wands. I don't know. It's just in the past, I get like the Six of Cups and the Moon and Queen of Coins. And that always brings me back to like everything Republicans have ever tried to do.
Right.
Stop voting, to gerrymander, everything. So secret dealings, try to stay in power kind of feeling, but I don't think it's going to fly.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that exact law happened in the state of Texas, and it was like women were going over their driver's license, and if you got married, but it had your name and your picture on the ID, but you'd gotten married between having to get a new license, and right now they have everybody has to go in at a scheduled time to change your licenses. It was a real mess. And what it ends up with at the end of the day, it's the individual voting judge in this state who gets to decide, look at the credentials and see if they're correct. I was running a poll during the time that was going on. And guess what happened in my polls? If you look like the picture on the card and you were reasonable, you got to vote. And it just, anyway, what I got is, this is one no. This is no, it's because it's not a balanced law. This is a double no because it causes too much stress. And this is a triple no because it's going to cost the states. What's going to happen is when it comes back to the states, and it's going to cost them so much money to try to implement it, they're not going to do it. So, and so I got that's 4 no's, and I only got 2 yeses, but the yeses are people and they're individuals, and it's their personalities trying to push this. And if it's Pam Bondi, what an obnoxious bitch that woman is.
Ridiculous. Her voice in that hearing was worse than nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, and this is true. Shilling my child. What can I say? Letting you know. Sean did a show on his CLSB politics. That in some ways it can be changed and it makes it actually more controllable for Dems. So don't worry.
I need to catch up on his. I need to catch up on his.
Yeah, he just did a thing about the guy who's running for Senate, the former governor who's running for Senate in North Carolina.
Oh, Cooper.
Right? And yeah, the Cooper, and how Cooper won and how he structured his candidacy. And
it's always helpful to have a good candidate and name recognition to bring you through.
Okay. We're going to go up and we're going to start reading the ones we've got started. Okay. Now, Cuba, how does it get over the fuel shortage? I don't know.
I hear it's horrible there. I mean, power hours all the time. No gas and oil's getting in.
And that's before they embargoed them.
It's not good.
Let's see if there's a solution that's going to show up from the international community.
That's good. Indigo says the SAVE Act didn't pass the Senate.
It didn't?
I didn't hear they voted on it.
I didn't know they'd voted on it.
Well, if that happened, we're right. Okay, Cuba. Justice. Oh. Not good.
It's not good.
I get a tower. People walking away from them. There might be a little help coming in with justice, a victory, the Queen of Coins, some kind of financing. But for the long term, it doesn't feel good. Their prosperity is in flux with decisions and bad times, and dark times coming through. Bottom of the deck, I have a tower for them. Hardships. It doesn't feel good for the near term.
No, I didn't get anything good either. I got my biggest card right in the middle was the Eight of Cups walking away. Everybody's kind of walking away saying, we don't know what to do about it.
I mean, it did show, a little help, maybe you're neighboring, but most of the neighboring countries don't really have a lot either.
No.
So it's going to be a while. I mean, visually, I was just seeing sadness and protesting and just bad times.
Will the measles outbreak in the U.S. continue to grow, or will health officials get a handle on it?
Definitely spreading everywhere.
So we got to pick a one way or the other. So we're going to see if it's going to continue to grow. Okay. I know with grandkids, you don't want to hear this, but.
And it just kind of feels like, popping up here and there like it has been. It's not going to get a handle unless you vaccinate.
Mm-hmm. What I got is the Nine of Cups when reversed, which means there is a way to treat this, but within the families, people are getting very confused about what to do. Somewhere, a woman's going to pop up who's going to help sort of straighten things around, but it's still going to be very imbalanced for a while. And it's not until they really come up with laws, really hard laws, changing it back that we're going to see it change from cases going up.
I'm getting feelings of summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like real leadership steps up, like maybe South Carolina governor or something, or the health board. Other people start actually telling the truth, just, get vaccinated, keep people safe, that kind of feeling.
Yeah, how can they hide it? If people know if kids are dropping dead and not going to school.
Right. I mean, it just feels like the message finally might sinking in that, people are sick, they're getting it. I get a few knights here at the end with the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is kind of like, it's midstream. There's a lot of confusion, conflicts, obstruction with trying to do the right thing. So that's saying it's still going to populate a little bit. What you should do, what you do with the vaccinations, that kind of feeling, but then it's in the Five of Wands moment. So it's going to creep up for a while until actual information. On the bottom of the deck, I do have change, Wheel of Fortune, Circle of Life, things changing. But it feels like it won't be till like summer.
Yeah. Anyway, there's someone thanking us for the SAVE Act because it's so worrisome. And
yes, it is. Well, it's the Republican way. Like in Wisconsin, Democrats bought a bill to the floor for the third time about ending child marriage.
Yes.
And it failed again. Republicans didn't vote for it. They got the House and Senate. Democrats bought the floor for the third time in 3 or 4 years, and it failed again.
Anyway, I'm putting this up. Will the Bidens ever get to see their portraits in the White House? Well, first of all, there has to be a White House.
Not a dark house?
Not a dark house.
Eventually, of course.
Eventually, but, it's a symbol of how things used to be, but what can I say? Someone wants us to look at the Nebraska governor's race.
Okay. Lynn and I know Lynn's the Democrat. Okay, I'll just put a few out for the Democrat and a few out for the Republican. That seems to work best. Nebraska. Give me Okay.
And speaking of ousting people and changes, we're coming up to the Super Tuesday, which is March 3rd, which is apparently in a lot of states. Texas happens to be in it now. I remember the fight to get into the March 3rd, to move the primaries back to March 3rd. But so you can go to, when we're off this, I'm going to talk to you about a website where you can go find out all the stuff you'll need, include candidates running for your states.
I get better cards for the Republican. Doesn't appear she's got quite enough to pull it through. I got the Ace of Swords, so she's got the new idea, determination. Page of Swords. That's kind of a deceitful person. I don't think her message breaks through. And then I get a Tower, 8 of Cups, and 9 of Wands. None of those are a good Victorian. And then for the GOP, I get Empress, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Pentacles, the Moon, and 2 of Cups. All showing a victory. So I don't think
I get, for her, she's got some great cards. Her in cards, the Sun card, and then you have the Tower, and then you have the Page of Swords, her message not getting out effectively. 3 of Swords, people really backstabbing.
You had about the same cards I did.
Right. And then my out card for her is a reversed Empress. But for him, I got the King of Swords. He's got all the money he needs. He's charging forward with a well-planned out campaign. He's got all the money he can need. And it doesn't matter how many lies he tells, people don't see it. So I don't know what's in the air in Nebraska.
Unfortunately, not enough, it seems.
So it doesn't look good for her right now, but that's today. And if you're interested in her candidacy, if you're interested in her candidacy, you can work for her. And this is what I'm going to put up now. Being hers. Ballotpedia is a great source for info. It's ballotpedia.com. It's neutral. It is neutral, which is sometimes, if you want to see one opinion only, you're not going to get it there. But they show you all the people running down to the ones that are running at 1%. They send everybody who's in and they go all the way down to school board, and if you have lower elected officials in that you can, it's sorted out by state. They give you they have all the rules in there for what it takes to vote in your primaries. It takes what it takes to get into the primaries. Also, when they know there's a candidate out there that's got past the muster and is on a ballot, they send them a questionnaire. And I always look to see who answers the questionnaire, because their questions are very fair, honest, and balanced, and they're what, as a voter, you would want to know. And I would hope people would use the source more. It's one of the few things I actually give money to, because I think what they provide for people is so important.
I was browsing who's running in Wisconsin, and I noticed a lot of people didn't even fill it out.
No, and for me, as a person who's been active in politics, those questionnaires are not that hard. Matter of fact, they have a sample there so you can read through it quickly, and you're going, why wouldn't you answer that question?
Yeah.
A lot of them are just lazy. In Dallas, we had a lot of questionnaires. If you ran for a local election, there were the newspapers, and then there were the neighborhood groups and stuff. And we used to sit there and we'd work with the candidate, and we'd write out, make sure every one of them got answered, because it's a thing that people, especially in primaries, which is such a low voter turnout, people know. And it's something you can point to if you have a friend who says, well, I don't know, I'll wait till November. No, now is when you have the most choice. It's during the primaries. That's when you can make a difference.
Yeah, there you go, Tea Garden Chicken. It does tell you a lot that they're not even motivated enough to fill out the ballot.
That's right. And people don't even, and if you don't know about Ballotpedia, you don't even know that could have been done. Okay. How bad did the police screw up the Guthrie case? Oh, let me count the ways.
I never seen an explanation, but I seen there was a tent that went up the other day in front of the house.
I don't know.
How bad is FBI? So I get a Queen of Wands, King of Swords, and my Hermit card. So that's been two forces not working together.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of obstructing a little bit. Little naive, looking at each other in the mirror, making mistakes.
Right.
Then I get Ace of Coins, my Strength card, and then the Heartbreak card. Kind of like the Three of Swords and Testified.
Right. So
the way you should do things has been a failure. Broken.
Yeah.
Everything's broken.
Thomas the Tank Train.
Evidence that the end, it feels like they're going to get the right evidence and figure it out, because I got the Wheel of Fortune, good things happening, my coins card of working hard, and then the Five of Wands. So there's going to be some arguing, some obstruction between who did what wrong, but the Wheel of Fortune gives me hope that everything's going to be figured out in the end. Leadership comes through on the bottom. But yeah, anytime you got Kash Patel's FBI involved, it's going to be bad from the start.
Yeah, Kash Patel's looking straight at the issue. That it was very poorly handled from the very beginning. They didn't build the safety parameters to keep the evidence safe. They're now getting their act together. They're actually bringing in good people who know what they're doing, promising to leave them alone. I think they're going to find an answer to this question. But boy, is it going to be a hard look at how badly that whole institution's fallen apart.
Yeah, same with what do you call it? The like the Uvalde case. It took forever to get any justice, and it really didn't happen for any of the officers that stood there for 75 minutes.
Right.
That failure, but there was no real justice, in my opinion, for those poor children.
Oh, this is an answer to what are people going to do about Cuba, Mexico sending help and already.
That's what my cards were getting. Someone was sending help now, but it's not enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Get back to my questions. Okay.
Mark, real quickly, Rose Blue said, what date does early voting start in Texas?
Monday. This Monday.
February 17th, I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
February 17th. And you can look it up. They're real good about listing the polling places. So, Rose, if you go on it, I just looked at it. It's there for the whole state. Dallas County's cleaned its website up too, so it's really easy to follow.
But in my opinion, that's the best way to vote is early vote.
Right, because
the lines aren't long. You get it done. Problems, right. You can still come back. Always.
And we got questions further in the deal about. Well, I've been using my husband's last name for the last 20 years. What's going to happen to me? And there will be lawyers groups and women's groups in your area and people who ACLU will help you. If you call them up, say, how can I get someone to answer this question for me? And they'll do the best they can with the information they have. Now, did Bill Gates traffic young girls too?
Ouchie.
Ouch. And he looked like such a nice young man.
Okay. So in the past, I get Queen of Coins, Six of Cups, and my Angels card.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't show trafficking. To me, that feels like protection of kids. So my Six of Cups shows me and my siblings as children, right? But here's protection. So I don't think he was trafficking.
No, I got it. I got a 5 no's.
But he's going through stress and burdens, anxieties with the news.
Mm-hmm.
So he has anxieties about the news about all this. My out card is Page of Cards, Page of Swords. So here we got the spy, the gossipy one. Evaluating the situation. This is showing he did something bad. Mm-hmm. Dark times, spirits, how to navigate. The Page of Swords would feel like, yeah, he did something bad. He's a younger person. But trafficking, I don't believe that.
No, I got no. Upside down, no. That's upside down, no. And no. And actually, he walked away from it when he really started to understand what Epstein was up to. But you guys got to realize that Bill and Melinda ran that foundation that did all that health work all over the world. And I've been at, not because I was a high roller, let's get this all straight, but I've been at high roller, big money events where the people are mingling together. I met, who's the guy who has a signed copy of Mein Kampf in his house, that clown? I've been at his house, but it doesn't mean I believe what he believes. And a lot of these people you get sucked in. This is where the money is. This is where the money for your candidate is, or this is the money for your foundation is. And Epstein gave away a lot of money. And he had ways into some countries because of his old spy work and his networking forever and ever that you wouldn't have. So it's a many-tiered thing. I saw a report yesterday about the woman who got fired, or she's not been fired, but she's isolated. She was a lawyer. She worked for Obama, and then she went to work for one of the biggest law firms. Anyway, apparently Jeffrey Epstein asked her for advice a couple times, but mostly what she was she's what we call a PR lawyer. They tell you how to handle a press and how to get your story written the way. And he was calling her 2 days before he killed himself. Well, 2 days before he got unalived, however that works out.
Right. Kathy Rumler, she was mentioned a lot of times.
Yeah, but
communications, yeah.
Right, because she was giving him stuff he thought was helpful. And I mean, and I don't know if she knew about all the other crap he was up to.
Oh, she had to have. This is.
Well, yeah, he was sitting in jail in Manhattan for it. So yeah,
the communications went on for like 8+ years, you know.
No, it didn't start until after she was out of Obama's administration.
Yeah, like 2013, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
how great is Mike Johnson feeling today? I think I can do this with a 1-card pull.
He doesn't see anything. I haven't seen it. I know nothing.
Wherever he is, he's having a bad time. He's got the 2 of Cups reversed.
Mike Johnson. Mikey. Weird. I get a lot of decent cards, but it feels like he's just trying to do the best he can to control his conference. Some reason he thinks he's got a celebration going on. Trying to do 45's bidding as best he can with a 3 of Pentacles. But the out card is problems. The out cards: King of Swords, 9 of Swords, fears and frustrations, emotional distress, within government, and then we got 8 of Cups walking away. So he's losing control. A lot of anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me the feeling he knows it's gonna be chaotic and a lot of the past cards just kind of show like protection and being in charge and just trying to do what he can to keep it all together. On the bottom, I get a lot of sadness with the 5 of Cups.
Aww.
But yeah, his speakership's going to end with that 8 of Cups. We should look at that. There was rumors this guy, I can't remember his name right now, Nunn, I think it was. I either emailed or texted you about him, but rumors was that he was going to leave or retire early.
Okay.
This guy from Florida, his name was, I think his last name was
someone who wants to go spend more time with his family. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. I think there's rumors.
I can't wait to get back to my bratty teenage kids. Really.
You want to throw a couple?
Mm-hmm.
We don't put it down, but I think it was Nunn.
Okay. But is someone plotting right now to leave we're just going to throw the numbers?
Yeah, Florida he's going to retire. I remember reading about him, but he's going to retire at the end of this year. But rumors has it. Oh yeah, Rose Blue has it. Yes, none. Okay.
Okay, no.
Representative none from Florida going to leave early this year.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it with one card. 10 of Swords.
Oh, yummy, yummy.
Yeah. Somebody got to him.
Ooh, I got 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, Page of Pentacles.
Somebody paid him.
Someone's going to be leaving soon.
Somebody paid him.
This guy's had enough.
Okay.
He's trying to find the right out time.
Okay, we're back into conspiracy theory shit. Okay, I saw, if you can find it, Josh Johnson has a short about how he's having to apologize to all his conspiracy theory friends after reading the Epstein files. And he said, remember the stuff your friends would tell you when you're sitting out at a bar and you'd move your glass further away from? Anyway, it's a really funny thing, but he said, but this is one that in the Epstein files, it claims that Kurt Cobain's death, Courtney Love played a role in it. She had to have. If you're married to someone that's that into those kind of drugs, guys, there's, I know you can't run another person's life, but I don't know what the rumors are. But anyway, I decided to lay this one out. And you want to do this one?
Sure. I actually seen that or something about that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was from 32. The rumor from 32
happened.
Years ago comes back.
Yeah. I revisited what happened in his death, and everyone don't believe it was drug suicide.
Well, he took the drugs, and if someone was there else was helping him.
Actually, I think someone's looking at it again.
Yeah, they are. It's been reopened by what was in the testimony.
That's what I read. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Right.
You want my answer to this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, she did it because she saw he was going to be failing soon and she wanted to get away from the money. She wrote in because she thought it was the best thing she could do. This is the card of death, transition. She was totally involved in this transition. He went away speedily and she got off because she was considered like an innocent trying to blow him into the wind. Yes, it's true. I mean, I don't know if she actually put the shot in his arm, but
Yeah.
That was back in the era when Belushi got the hot shot.
Here's the female.
Ick. Wouldn't want to be
creating something to make it happen. Here's the female, Queen of Swords, and making that change with the Wheel of Fortune. Different travels. Page of Cups is an offer or someone in love.
Mm.
Judgment upon her, and then my disaster card, 10 of Swords. There's something there. There's something there.
There's something there.
Here's the problems between the two.
Mm-hmm.
5 of Cups between a male and female. The grief, the sadness, being unloved. There's something there.
Okay. As long as we're into conspiracy crap, put on your S waiters, guy. We're going out to the pig farm. Will Steve Bannon be going back to jail?
Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon.
He still wears 3 shirts like he's going to have to leave town tomorrow to a cold climate. I mean,
I suppose he said it on a podcast. We need to win or we're going back to prison.
That's right. Couldn't happen to a nice. I don't want to do that to the prison guards. I don't want them to have to handle it.
What happened? The future of Steve Bannon.
He does look like a walking sack of venereal disease. He really does. I got no. He's just trying to make himself seem self-important and to scare people. I can show you the no. He's doing this because he's not in a comfortable place. But this is a wheel of fortune. This would be the only yes, and it's not a yes for him. He's not as close to Trump as he wants to be. It's his own little mental illusions. It's how he keeps himself up at night. And it's a lie. It's just a stressor for him. So he can say he's going back to jail.
So I get 5 of Swords, Knight of Cups, 6 of Cups. That's just showing me the same strategy he's always done.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking,
Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me, showing the conflicts, just doing the same old, the way he's always done. He does have some worries of some painful endings being talked to, depositions or something with Knight of Coins, but somehow he makes things better with the 6 of Swords. The out cards, I do get the Wheel of Fortune too. So there's some
October. I think it's going to be October, whatever is going to happen around this. It's going to be in October.
Fate and karma going to hit him. He's going to become irrelevant.
You mean he isn't now?
More so.
Okay.
But as far as being locked up, I get protection.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a change, painful loss, and being irrelevant, but he's got some kind of protection. Maybe he gives up the goods or something to stay out of prison or whatever it is. But on the bottom, I have a victory, some success.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to prison forever. Maybe it's a pardon or something prior to wipe anything clean, but eventually he'll become a pariah and a nobody.
If Trump issues a whole bunch of pardons just before he loses it completely, would they be considered mentally competent? Do they have to go ahead and use them? I just want to throw it out there.
I wish there was a way.
Is it true that Lutnick was a major money launderer for Epps?
A lot of interesting questions today.
Well, for a man who got on the front of the New York Times by saying, I was in his house once and I was so creeped out I never went near him again. And then they uncover pictures of him taking his pre-teenage kids to the island. This guy's got a big credibility gap for me.
I'm just going to respond to Liz quick. He asked, what are your impressions when you see Epps allegedly walking around in Israel with security guards? Real or AI? It's AI.
It's AI.
That was not.
He's not there. He's not in Israel. He's in a country that has a very rugged coastline, and he's living on top of a cliff somewhere. You can only hope he sleepwalks.
Like I said, that sounds like Australia.
No. I think it's in Middle Europe.
Middle Europe? Okay.
It's a country I know I've been in past lives because I recognize place. Why they put him there? Okay. Yes, he was. Yes, he was the little page of cups that was more than willing to go do what everybody else told him to do. He handled their money. He kept it all safe. He worked to make their money build. He has the 8 of Pentacles. And now it's starting to cause him to not have a happy home. But even the 10 of Cups, he made money doing it, and he still got the money. And he is a little worried about someone coming after him big time for it.
Money launderer. Okay. In the past, there is money dealings with him. So I get a King of Coins, Page of Coins, but then I get whatever he did originally made him money with New Path, but it turned out poorly. So I think in the beginning, he thought he was going to make a bunch of money doing it, but I get the 5 of coins with it. So something happened later on that he ended it. Yeah, so then I get the walking away, 8 of cups. There was some arguing and then a fallout later on, after all his dealings. Because we haven't seen anything like recent, as far as the files so far. But yeah, walking away, arguments, and then some problems.
Yeah, but he knew if he went to the island, he had to have some idea what was going on.
Yeah. Back then, yeah. Current situation, he's very stressed about everything in this, what's come out. Very 10 of Wands, very stressed right now what's going on. Worried about what's coming out about him. Some reason he thinks he's got some strength behind this. Maybe because it wasn't recent. But on the bottom, I get restricted. 8 of Swords, feeling trapped. Money laundering. I don't know if it was, but there was business dealings. I'm not positive about the money laundering. It's not getting a real hit, but there was some definite money arrangements going on that he had to pull out of for fear of SEC or whatever investigations, however that works. Who does the financial investigations in the feds?
FBI, depending on what they're doing.
Whatever 3-letter agency. he got scared at some point.
Okay.
So he was doing something with some money and investments.
I hadn't heard about this, but will there be an international incident over the Texas man who killed his visiting daughter over Trump?
There was a Trump supporter that killed his daughter.
Okay.
In Texas. She came home from college. They went downstairs. There was an argument, and he took a shotgun and killed her in the stomach.
Oh.
Killed his daughter over Orange Caligula. International? Doubtful.
Local, unless she threatened him somehow, he ought to be sitting in jail, but we all know how that goes.
I think the family must be protecting the dad right now, whatever, but
maybe she wasn't the popular child. If I'd have shot anybody in my family, that's what would have happened. They would have said, go look elsewhere.
Oh, Coastal Crone said, yeah, SEC, Security Exchange. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're done with that one. Okay. I'm trying to get to a new comment. We have one lady keeps typing in she's been divorced, had the husband. I can't tell you how that's all going to work out, sweetie. You're, like I said, go talk to lawyers. Don't ask card readers to tell you how to help that. Okay.
Kerry said they refused to indict him. Oh my God.
Yeah, but for murder, they can still go ahead and try another way. So, okay. Will Chase Bank still be in trouble for the Epstein connections?
I'm definitely feeling that. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny. Yeah. When they start digging into his finances more, I get Wyden will eventually get what he needs from the Treasury or whatever of all those transactions to Russia and whatnot. I definitely feel that. Yeah, it's ongoing. There's going to be more scrutiny. I believe it.
Oh, we have a weather. We want one weather report. I'm trying to find some questions, guys.
All good.
Yeah, Indigo Child. If you can send us some information on them voting down the SAVE Act, that would empty out a lot of the questions that are in my chat. Okay, and I'm gonna go. Wait a minute. Oh yeah,
Wow.
that's
That
the
was
one.
I started Googling, and that was the first thing that came up.
What, that it had
If
been
they
voted down?
if they voted on it.
Okay, good.
Save
Then we
hack,
don't.
save hack ends heads of the Senate. It hasn't been voted on yet.
It hasn't been okay.
McConnell and the filibuster stand in the way of the voter ID bill. Then Trump floats executive order on voter ID if Save Act stalls. So no, it hasn't been. According to this, no. So it's been Googled a lot because it's already came up right away.
Okay. Okay. People are writing about the lack of snow where they are is scary. Scott, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few in Wisconsin in January, and then it's been quiet. But
Thank
yeah,
you, Troy.
it's not a good thing for Colorado not to have much snow because
That's their water.
Water comes down.
Well, California's the same way. It's a desert. It gets its water from the mountain. But we got rained on ourselves today. Thank you, Tro. Ask backwards. We appreciate it.
Anyway. Yeah, the East Coast got plenty of snow over in Maryland where Jeff is.
Yeah. Oh, and Dr. Gail got snow in South Carolina. So, but she said it's been pretty the last few days. Okay. All right. It's been reported that Elon was spotted walking around Austin talking to himself and then congratulating himself when he had a good idea. Is he going crazy? Well, if it was on 8th Street, there's a lot of people who do that on 8th Street.
Oh my God.
You just take a deep breath on 8th Street and you're gone.
I didn't hear about this. This is funny.
Okay, I'm gonna do Is It True?
I'm
not going to do Is He Going Crazy? I've thought he was that way for a long time, Carrie.
Yeah. For 10 years, he said he's building a new city on Mars and they'll be there. Now he changed course. In 10 years, it'll be the moon now.
I hope he does it on the dark side of the moon because over there, things that go over there disappear. Because according to Dr. Gail, you don't want to go to the dark side of the moon. And I trust her. Anything beyond the Earth's atmosphere. So.
Elon, what's going on with Elon?
No, it was wishful thinking. Someone who looked a lot like him that was acting strange, and it's a lie. When the Knight of Cups shows up and you're asking if something's truth or lie, if he's reversed, but that doesn't get Elon off the hook. Elon's not in good shape. His mind and his spirit are very separate. He's not getting what he wants. And the actions he's trying to take, when the Ace of Swords is upside down, means the actions you're trying to take you can't accomplish. So he's very frustrated. So he should be walking down 8th Street in Austin talking to himself.
So I get he's very worried about his security, his protection with the Empress. So my Duchess, I combined the Empress and Star. So he thought he was all this, right? But going through a tower and uncertain health. So it seems like it's related to drugs. 7 of Cups. So Page of Wands and Queen of Swords. So there may be something to it with the Page of Wands because that's the talker. And the 7 of Cups is that delusional person. So there's something to it, whether it's this or whatever. But in the end, I get things will come to light with the sun. There'll be clarity about him this summer, looks like, with Ace of Cups. And then the 8 of Coins. So that's some issues. I think it's all relating more to drug use, I think. And he seems to be worried about some investigations going on by the government.
I'd be worried about the French, because if the French combined with the rest of Europe, he's kind of screwed.
I did read briefly. There is a deposition he must take.
Yeah, he and the woman who's president of X.
Of what?
The woman who's president of X.
Oh, yeah, he was ordered. I read something. He was ordered to take a deposition for something, some lawsuit or something. But yeah, I think he's just, his ketamine use or drug use, whatever, is advancing yet.
It's never a helpful thing to be an addict. I can tell you this. LSD was on Life magazine when my senior year in high school, and I actually did a report on what we knew about it then, as for a speech class. And I watched it spread, and I grew up with the generation of young women who had their hand over their Coke can the whole time they were at a party. I mean, and I took care of a girl who someone had dropped, I think it was acid on her, and they brought her back to the dorm, and she was so out of it. And I used to work in an ER, so I sat with her through the night. And then the next day, I basically got a phone number from her mother and told her, Mom, I think she needs to go to the hospital because she got into some bad food. That's because, and the dorm mother was so furious at me for taking care of that kid. I mean, the adults around us didn't care if we lived or died. So I have a whole lot of sympathy for young people right now. Will a massive Trump-Epstein post happen soon?
Done. Okay. How should we take this? Well, there's
my big kitty cat.
There's 3 more million plus whatever supposedly out there. Justice Department is hiding stuff yet.
Apparently under Pam Bondi's desk. She must be sitting on it. She must be sitting way up at the ceiling of her office.
Okay. When can we see another Epstein file dump? When can we see?
Oh dear.
When can we see? Ooh. Starts out with 10 of swords. Ouchie.
I got swords. I got 8s and 9s of swords and 2s of swords.
Ooh. Justice will be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, I got a yes.
6 of cups and 10 of swords is the energy of the reading. So yeah, things that happen in the past will be coming out. The 4 of swords is a little bit of a waiting. 10 of swords and justice. So it's a little bit of a wait yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
Yep.
A past, I get the moon. So that's the energy of that coming out is all hidden. So that makes sense. Moving forward, I got 4 of cups. So it's a little bit of waiting again. The 4 of fours. The fool. And then the 2 of coins. So they're trying to hide things yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're still trying to cover up the Trump-Epstein files. Outcome, I get 3 of swords, 4 of wands, 9 of wands, and the magician. It's either going to be leaked or pressure from people within. So like maybe the people that redacted, whatever, had enough, start speaking out or something. And it's going to happen. 3 of swords. So March. I'm getting 3s here. I think in March it's going to come out.
They've tried to keep it in jail. It's the 8 of swords, but it hadn't worked. And the hanged kitty's been waiting and plotting how to get it out. And there are people right now working on getting this information out. Whoever's doing it, it's got the 9 of swords. There's a lot of anxiety. I think it's going to come out with a whistleblower, but it's going to be so incredible I can't get away with it. And then they got the 2 of swords. and everybody will be lined up, and they'll be lined up into their thought processes about what's right and what's not. But that's okay, because what I saw is the world, which means at the end of a cycle. So I think, I think that's right.
Other countries too, pressure
Other countries
coming out from other countries. Yeah, they can't obstruct this forever. If they think they can last 3 more years, they're foolish.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We haven't had a winter here in Pacific Northwest. No snowpack, and was. Please read on our summer. Oh, their problem is that their summers get real hot when their winters are real cool. Well, or not hot. Opposite of here. When it gets really, really cold here, we have a really, really hot summer.
The West Coast. Let's see.
Pacific Northwest. She's not. Carrie doesn't care about California. She didn't care about down there.
It was on Washington, Oregon area.
She wants to be the America's only rainforest that we're chopping down as fast as we can.
No, that's unusual. It's not good. Summer.
Not going to be as bad as you think, girl. The crops aren't being planted the way you think they should be, but it's not going to imprison you. It means you're not going to have the 103-degree days. Can't promise it completely, but not going to be like it was. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you want to manifest in weather, and it's going to kind of just move along like it always should. And I don't know what the Knight of Wands has to do. You may have some weird storms, but I don't think it's going to be an overly hot summer.
In the past, I get unusual.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out how to read this as a weather, right?
Yeah, we don't do weather reports. We're not weather.
So the usual would be the 9-10 of coins. It's like how things have usually been. 7 of cups has kind of been awkward and then chaotic with the Knight of Swords. Then moving towards the summer, the spring could be awkward. Because I get my 2 of Swords, patience, some problems, maybe not enough rain or something. Page of Swords is chaotic. It could be like brief quick storms and then nothing. Because then I get the 5 of coins. So that could be not enough water. Not enough security. And then I get my 4 or 5 of cups. So that isn't stability. It could be dry. King of Wands and then Knight of Coins. So it doesn't feel like, terrible. Like it would be 105 degrees a lot, you said. It does feel dry.
Yeah.
And when it does come, it'll be quick, like a quick shower because it's so dry. And then you have a quick rain. It just all washes away and doesn't really sink in. That kind of feeling. But the stability of the weather and the ground and everything is going to be rough. That's the way it feels. It doesn't feel like super hot and terrible, but inconsistent.
Yeah.
So that's what I sense.
Remember 3 years ago, like people were heading to the coast because like 103, and the houses, a lot of them up there don't have air conditioning. So, okay. Now we get to be astrologers. How will the blood moon affect us? And that's tomorrow night. It's a new moon.
Blood moon.
No, that's blood moon eclipse. I'm sorry. Tomorrow night's the new moon. Okay. I'm going to read on the new moon and then the blood moon.
How will the blood moon eclipse?
I'll let you know what day that's going to be.
Ugh. Sandra says, weird storms.
It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Over
Weird storms, being thunderstorms, lightning causes wildfires, unfortunately.
Oh, that's the bad part of being dry. Ask Canada about it from a couple of years ago.
Okay, blood moon. I'm getting like some people feel uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
7 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 2 of Swords. So I think some people will feel like a little anxiety, a little off from this energy from the moon. And then I get Temperance, just wait it out. 9 of Swords, some anxieties, 3 of Swords. God, it just feels like it's going to be energetically rough on some people that I'm getting here. Just wait it out. Ace of Cups, the Hermit, and the Devil. I think this is a good time to reflect on what's good and what's bad in your life. The Devil can be problems with finances. The Hermit is reflection of what's good and what you need. I'm getting do not spend money now.
Yeah.
You know, no shopping. Take a break, reevaluate what you actually need and budget. Outcome. You stay focused, stay grounded, meditate. Everything's going to be good with the 2 of Cups. You balance within self. Knight of Coins. This is a good time to manifest. And then 9 of Coins. Everything's going to be good. So if you do your psyche work, if you do connect to spirit, connect to self, don't overspend, this is a good time to flow. That's what I sense.
Okay. What I got is a lot of people are it's going to bring up the things they've regretted. So you're going to have to either stand there and regret or realize what you can build from. And then my next card is go build something because you got the 3 of Pentacles. And you got the 2 of Wands to go look for new adventures. It's going to open people's minds up that way. But people are going to feel like I should be moving on, but they're not going to be moving on right then. But we're being set up to take a long ride on the Chariot. So, yeah, you're right. It's very conflicted feelings in people.
I know some eclipses and moons used to affect me a lot. I could just feel off. I can feel anxiety. And this might be one that really the energy just feels weird. So take care of self, it feels like to me.
Okay. We got start. Okay. Oh, your favorite topic, Scott. Hi, Danny Shea. Danny Shea came over to see if we're eating our leftover Valentine's chocolates.
Yeah, I was eating them yesterday.
Yeah. I don't eat chocolate, so I'm okay. I eat dark chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you want to do this? Because this made Scott sick last week. So.
Well, if I don't look at the people. But yeah, I guess prosecutors down there are trying to get the owners to go look. Let them out. So as long as I don't look at the people, exact people involved.
Okay.
In this.
I'm going to see if some truths are going to come out of investigation into Zorro Ranch. I'm not going to go into the politics of how
Yeah,
they.
I think will prosecutors be able to search Zorro Ranch?
I got a big fat no.
Hi, Dorothy Morgan. Stopping by.
Dorothy's the person to ask about the new blood moon. She's the one.
There you go.
She has, I'm sure she has something on her channel today. She has these cute little shorts that are really good. I'm just going to tell you flat out my card said no. And the no's are some people being blocked, justice not being served.
Yeah, it's seems so. Queen of Coins, King of Swords, and Eight of Swords. So it feels like prosecutors trying to get into the information, but there's a blockage for right now. Eight of Swords. I have nothing about justice. There's some kind of protection about doing this. Not enough. It feels like the feds need to get involved to get anything happening. Locals ain't going to get it done, I don't think.
No.
Unfortunately.
No. That's why they build things out in those parts of Arizona. Okay. Can I go to the Denton County Courthouse for early voting? Yes. If it's, look it up, Rose Blue. It's early voting. If you can text us, you can look it up on. It's that easy. It's not a tough thing.
Oh, you can go anywhere?
You can go to any early voting place, yeah, in your county.
No. I have to go to my designated polling place.
We don't do that. But you can you can register day of, and we don't do that either. Too many of them know how to register. Okay. Yeah,
in Wisconsin, yeah, you can register day of.
That's why I told everyone to go over to
Ballotpedia.
Ballotpedia. You can find out what the rules are for your area. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff got the same thing in his toss about restricted
right
for the ranch, unfortunately.
Was Stephen Hawking on Epstein's island a lot? I don't know.
In his wheelchair? What was he gonna do?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a real.
I think Epstein was most likely just picking his brain.
Yeah, he just wanted to have an eclectic group of people so it didn't look like what he was doing, being a perv.
Oh, let's see what it says.
You gonna answer that?
Let's see.
We have people in the
I think he was picking his brain for dark things.
Okay.
Some arguments, a lot of conflicts. It feels like Epstein was teasing him about something. He's picking his brain, but yet making fun of him.
Probably.
Probably because of his condition, but it feels like he was fascinating with his mind, but like
he was repelled by him.
Cloning or anything like that was never gonna work in that mind, because it feels like Epstein was always, trying to seek out the best DNA, because they talked about the cloning and making it a superior race, whatever. Huh. I think he was picking his brain about that kind of stuff, but actually making fun of him because he was not a pure DNA specimen. Mm-hmm.
Jared Kushner, Tulsi Gabbard, Iran spy interception. Will anything happen to Jared for spying and Tulsi for blocking this info?
Yeah. Supposedly the whistleblower is all about Jared. And Tulsi's covering it up. Imagine that. Again. Jared is under scrutiny for Khashoggi murder. And again, what's going to happen with this? I don't know. Hopefully this is finally it, because I always felt Jared going to prison at some point.
We're going to find out about it. But right now, Jared feels very safe in his little garden. And so far, you're right. They've managed to fight it off. They've tried to divert people from what really went on. They're selling us a bunch of lies, man. That poor Knight of Cups is getting a big war. We're going to be worn out by the end of this readings. And they haven't been able to get at them. But I have a feeling something's going to come to light. And that's going to be the end of that.
Yeah. Jared's going to go through some things.
Good.
I got 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords. He's a thief. He's a thief. His energy, not good. In due time, I think justice will happen to him. Justice, temperance, and which pentacle? 6 of Pentacles. His dealings with money overseas, in due time, he will serve justice. He will get it. He will get it. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is cleanup mode. 3 of Wands, the dealings he's done overseas. Money. 7 of Pentacles, how he accumulated his money. 4 of Swords, the dark side. See, yeah. It's going to come for him.
Okay.
It's shady money dealings. I think it has to do with the, oh yeah, you got the sun, I got the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's coming.
Everything, light's going to shine on everything. Okay, Danny Shea. What's for breakfast? Leftover chocolates. Scott already ate all his, and I only eat 1 square of chocolate a day. So, wrong crowd, Danny.
That's a bad combo when I got chocolate available.
Yes. Don't miss, if you haven't seen it, watch Dandy's Sunday with Spirit, which is on Sundays, and it's this non-political show, so we'll advertise it. If super pure, what would be instant? I don't know what that comment's about. So, will Joe Rogan turn on Trump? I think the spell is breaking.
He's got some, he's kind of waking up, but I don't like that guy at all.
Joe Rogan, no, he's going to go wherever the money is.
I mean, he has been. I just seen clips. I don't listen to him anymore, but yeah, he's questioning things. But it's a slow turn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got to keep his right-wing audience happy, so he just kind of questions things instead of goes full board.
Give him a deck of cards and see how long he lasts.
The spell is breaking, though, in the MAGA world. Let's see. Joe Rogan's future on 40. Fell in 45. Let's see what the cards say. He's beginning to realize it was a disaster, but he's got to keep his money up. He is seeing that the right wingers are more dark than the good guys. He's a bit worried about losing money. The money seems to be bigger on the right coming in. So being a good guy, he sees losing money. 5 of coins. So being a good guy, losing money. That's not where the money is. Being controversial is where the money is. Not talking about unicorns and rainbows. So yes and no. Still going to be divisive.
let's see. I'm going back to the questions. When you talk, Scott, I have to go look for more.
Oh, good.
Start. Okay. And I get the feeling the Lutnick may go the way of Russian generals. What is it? They're now drowning in their bathtubs because they live on the first floor. Nobody lives on above the second floor because they don't want to die being thrown out a window.
Yeah. And if that don't work, they just get robbed.
They get unalived somehow. Do you see the Clintons testifying in public? If they're allowed to, I think they will. Otherwise, they won't get their testimony. Why should they?
Well, they're scheduled to come in a week or two. Can't remember what date.
Yeah.
I think it was the end of the month.
I'm going to see if they're going to testify in public. That's what I'll ask.
They're scheduled the end of the month, I think, 20th or something, 23rd, something like that. Clinton. What's going to happen with the Clinton? What's going to happen? Yeah, I've seen that, Jeff. Thomas Massey put on Twitter X about the standard thing that I'm in good health and all that.
Oh, yeah. But I want to go spend more time with my wife and children. Okay.
Debbie said the 26th they're supposed to be tested.
Okay. What I got is this is the 5 of Pentacles upside down, which means they're coming out from the cold. Yes, it will go forward. What we're going to learn from it's going to be kind of mystifying to some of us, but Clinton's going to be Clinton, King, and the chair of the committee is going to be the chair of the committee, and I think they're going to testify in public, and I think it's going to be good for the Clintons.
Yep.
What'd you get?
Chariot, that's testifying, Ace of Cups, and my Empress Star card. I don't see anything bad coming out of it for them.
Okay.
There. Before that, I do get some stressors, but I think they're formulating their plan how to handle it. But because I had the Knight of Cups, you know, that's your love proposal, whatever. 7 of Cups, and then the 10 of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your stress and burdens, exhausted over everything. But the out cards are good, that nothing's going to come out of to implicate them in any way, whatever, because this is all good. The out cards are all good.
Okay.
But yeah, Chariot says yes, they're going to be tested.
I mean, they've got to look better than Bondi.
Yeah, I don't think Hillary's going to go down the Bondi road against the Republicans. Bring a burn book.
The question: will the Flamingo judge Cannon release the abstention files on the 11th to the 11th quarter, or she already destroyed it?
Some group, it may be crew, Citizens for Ethics, whatever. Asked the 11th Circuit to take over and order the release.
Okay.
She cannot destroy evidence. It's in,
no, I mean, unless she really wants to go face the Bar Association, yeah.
It's in DOJ's hands.
Okay. Well,
it's just under seal for her. So, what's going to happen with Volume 2? What's going to happen with Volume 2?
Lots and lots and lots of fighting, and my out card is that's the bunny and 5 of Swords, and then my out card is we're not going to get what we want from whatever it is that's supposed to be in there. the goal we have cannot be met by what's in there. So I don't know if it's not in there or what.
In the past, I get the devil is protecting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's canon. Chariot release.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get the female energy of the devil there protecting it. Moving forward, I get Queen of Coins. So that feels like the information. And then I get a tower, meaning I think it has to come out or some ruling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a victory next to it.
Okay, good.
And the outcome is, I think it's a release. King of Coins, Three of Coins, and then all the hard work with my other coins card, the rewards. Queen of Swords on the bottom. So here's either her or someone, female prosecutor or judge or something. This, to me, this feels like release.
Okay.
An order. My Three of Coins is either documents or an order or subpoenas on the wealthy businessman. And then my other coins cards, it's either Six of Coins or Seven of Coins. I always just try to sense which one it is. But one document says loan application approved. So those are documents approved. So at some point it comes out.
Okay.
I mean, this administration ain't gonna last forever in this crap.
It just feels like it has.
Very true. It feels like 6 years.
Trump ask backwards. If you'll see when you donate to buy me a cup of coffee, there's a thing where I can send you a thank you note. And I can send it as a video. So I'll pull a card for you when I do that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice. Yes, they've just put that thing in. It started last week, so I've been sending it to people. Okay. Will Pam Bondi face consequences for her actions, or does she just get a cushy job in the private sector or overseas? We're going to have to make that one question, Liz, because we can't do a yes/no to it. We can't make a decision tree. Our cards don't work that way.
I'm just going to do consequences.
Okay.
From what Pam Bondi has done as Attorney General, will she face consequences?
Oh, that's the first 100% yes I've gotten. Yay!
That's always good news.
Yeah, she was the little liar that went out and stuck her tongue out at everybody, the Page of Cups. Now she's sitting under the trees thinking, well, nothing's going to happen to me. But someone's plotting things to make the truth become evident. Got a lot of threes here, so there's a whole lot of people talking about what her fate's going to be. Next three is the one I wanted to see here, the Three of Swords. It's really going to hurt her. And I think she may be the first one that gets pushed under the presidential bus.
I was hoping for more devastating cards.
Well, I mean, in the short term, if she gets that much instead of them all running and hiding back in their offices again.
Yeah.
Must be getting lonely in those buildings with the number of people who have left.
Yeah, they're definitely overworked because of the firings. But I'll get the Two of Pentacles, juggling demands, Four of Cups, uninspired, and then the Five of Cups, regret, despair, grief. Outcome is Knight of Cups, proposals, King of Wands, a visionary male, Emperor, authority figure, and then Wheel of Fortune. So for what she's done for the emperor, her destiny or karma is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't show me in this reading, prison consequences hard. Unfortunately, right now. Maybe it's not to be told, but she is going to go through something because she's currently in that regret, pain, trying to figure out how things done and being uninspired.
Mm-hmm.
I do have in the past some sufferings with the Nine of Swords, trying to make that everything work with the Eight of Pentacles. So she's done the dirty dealings, but in her soul and feelings, she's suffering. Even though it don't look like it, but she is. But we'll have to see. But right now, I'm not showing prison or anything like that, unfortunately. But
Okay.
there will be flashback.
Okay, we got a little more info on the eclipse, and this comes from a lady I know is an astrologer. Fire horse and solar eclipse in Aquarius happening on Tuesday. Get ready for the liftoff, folks. Slow burn, but we'll get there. The E-files are going to be around for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, I'm sure some poor child in 300 years is going to have to sit in a learn ancient English class and translate those suckers, because I had to translate Latin sentence things when I took Latin. So I feel sorry for children of the future, but I don't think there's a question there.
That sucks.
Rose, yes, thank you for your contribution. And Trump probably will rename the San Andreas Fault the Biden's fault. He's trying to rename Camp David. And it wasn't even named after the president. He named it after David Eisenhower, his grandson.
You guy's a clown.
The International Weather Report, flooding in Ireland and UK have been horrible. Governments there are really corrupt and need to start paying attention to the general public. Yes, and they need to pay attention to the people who's in government. At least they've thrown some people off,
Europe's getting it done.
Mm-hmm. And then we got one more question before we close out for where we're going to go this week. And it's what's going to happen with the farmers. I worry about food security.
Not good there. Not good.
Learn how to eat local. I'm just asking if food security will be an issue by the end of the year.
I was reading an article that 70% of the hired help in California, immigrants and whatnot, are not showing up.
Yep.
They're having problems. Let's see. I see farmers are waking up finally.
Mm-hmm.
How bad felon 45 and farmer or this administration has treated them, because they're farmers are generational people, families, and they're waking up here to the authoritarian things that's going on. Moving forward, I get strength, balance, page of swords, and then the moon. So there's problems there. Food security. Um, that shows the strength of food security is not going to be perfect. There's some things that are off.
Mm-hmm.
How come though? I think there's a change the end of the summer.
That's why I got that. I'll show you that card in my reading too.
So yeah, Queen of Coins, Knight of Coins, and Ace of Cups. These are summer fall type things,
Mm-hmm.
and these are good cards. You know, a little bit of patience, and that's what farmers are. They're honorable people with the Knight of Coins. But abundance comes late summer, early fall. So there may be some chaotic things, but help was coming or a change. But right now, things are restricted. Things are tough. With the Eight of Swords, isolation.
Mm-hmm.
They're feeling left out. Yeah, heck, this administration's removing any securities.
Mm-hmm.
The FDA, the EPA. No more climate change things. You know.
Back to acid rain.
6 months. It feels like 6, 8 months. Things will get better.
What I got is the Hermit. They're going back to what the knowledge and the wisdom they know works, and they're looking for a champion to come in and to move things forward for them. They're seeing it in the diminishment of their money that they're making, but this is where you saw by the end of summer they're aware of what needs to get done, and they've had it with Trump.
Good.
And his whole little band of thieves. But I said, is there going to be a clear coming out of that? And they're like, well, you got the Page of Wands. They don't have anyone that's really guiding them where to go. They want to get together with people that can help them find good solutions to their problems, but they're not seeing any way to be victorious. So they're going to take that foolish leap in the fall and vote for Democrats, and because they don't want to be burdened with it anymore. So I think, yes, there's going to be, I think the farmers are going to pull it together.
Well, the chaos of the deportation crap's got to end to help them with.
Yeah, well, and they know. I mean, I heard, what was it? Finding My Roots or something. They did. The guy who was senator from Wisconsin, and he talked about how his family came from Germany, and they ended up. They're all immigrants, and I'm like, what's your problem? And they'd come over, and then they'd bring their cousins over, and anyway, I'm looking down the way to see if any. And people are thanking us for doing our readings. And people are talking about when other countries get the unredacted files. Yeah, all it is open up that file and bring it into the U.S. They cannot, and then get a VPN watcher so that the government can't stop you from seeing it. And
thanks, Pam. Yeah, my grandkids get their vaccinations. My daughters are nurses. They're not dumb about that.
Oh, that bridge is going to get built. That's just a one-day headline.
I think it's done. It's just 45 is blocking it.
Well, it's going to get built. It's just like the thing he did in New Jersey where he stopped all that. It's just a one-day headline. And somebody said something about Pam Bondi will get a job in the private sector, and I'm like, no, we want her in the public sector. We want her working in a prison.
She'll get hers. I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
That testimony is blatant lies. That's 5 years for lying under oath.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need Jack Smith as our next Attorney General.
That's right. Then let them go to Florida. So people are telling me what wonderful meals they're making, which I'm not doing yet. Oh, that's nice. A large Confederate flag was moved from in South Carolina after a long court battle. Well, good news.
Good, good.
If you live in the South, that's a real pain in the ass, those people. And your children, grandchildren got their vaccinations. And thank you both. And so we're going to thank you for your Sunday by reading in honor of Pam Bondi. I'm going to use the witching hour oracle.
So I pulled two of my ET first.
Good. Cool.
So I get reflection of your soul is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And then relax.
Mm-hmm.
Take a vacation. So it means we all feel better when we forgive. Family, whatever, you know, this chaotic administration, instead of getting angry, forgive them. Send them love and light. It makes things much better. And then my other three. Put this down. Okay. I get the Two of Michael, King of Michael, and the 10 of Ariel. That's 10 of coins and the King of Swords, 2 of Swords. 10 of Ariel is there's so much to be grateful for. King of Michael is about wisdom, objectivity. And then the 2 of Michael is decision making and things getting better when problems come up. I just think that in due time, everything will balance itself. It's definitely chaotic. We've been through this for well over a year. But in the end, everything becomes a 10 of Ariel and grateful. So we just got to stay the course. This is the 2 of Michael is that 2 of Swords. It's the
right.
It's the crossing patterns that we are in right now. So stay focused.
Okay.
Forgive and release. Even though Pam Bondi is a horrible person, the best way to get at her universally is to send her love.
That's right. Don't send hate. Blows back on you. When salt comes into your reading, it's because you require protection and need to take steps to establish stronger boundary. It's your responsibility to teach others how to respect your needs. You may hope others will intuitively know how to treat you, but it's best when you remember how you want to be treated and you make sure they know. You don't need any more hardships, lessons, or triggers. And so you need to put salt. And of course, there are people who will push the boundaries to the breaking point. Some may even seem to do it intentionally. Standing firm and let them know that they're not pushing you and you're not about to break. That's your salt. And the other energy for this week is really one I like. It's we're on the secret trail. Let's see if I can do a better job of keeping this camera. When you've pulled these cards, it's because you are about to embark on a new journey that does not include everyone or everything that's currently in your life. Thus, you need the boundaries. You're not taking the bad parade with you. If your question is about a person, you may need to ask yourself, is now the natural time to end that relationship or to establish stronger boundaries? This one wants you to do stronger boundaries. See, if they are... if you are inquiring about your career business, you may need to look into considering leaving the current position or reestablishing it. In general, receiving this card means opportunities are available and change is coming. Don't be afraid to take the journey on your own. So that's Salt and Secret Journey. And if what Jeffrey and I have been reading on the cards in the garden right, this week's going to be last week, and then after this week, it's Katie by the door, and I don't know what's going to happen, but boy, does it take off. So I hope it's taking off for all of you. If you don't know about that, you can go see my weekly wanderings with Jeffrey. That's also on my channel. I'll be doing readings on Tuesday. I think it's going to be open mic again. Still looking for people to take my tarot class. Yes. And I want to thank Scott for taking time out of his busy real world schedule to come join us where we live. Bye.
Bye-bye. Love and light.